Teaserking coming to you Sunday, daylight savings. So it's 10:30 where I am, 11:30 in the rest of the world, and the game started at 1. So we got an hour and a half. 3-0 on my locks yesterday. 29 unit lock was Wake Forest plus 9.5. Georgia under. What else is new with Georgia under? How that made that line 60, 59.5 is unbelievable. Nobody else can score on them. So Missouri's going to light them up, or did they think Georgia was going to score 70? I don't really know. But that was a very it was one of my easiest locks because Wake was up 14, getting 9.5. And of course, Georgia under. The third leg was Louisiana Monroe getting 9.5. It was a 1-point game, and then with about 2 minutes left, Texas State scored and won by 8, getting 9.5. But really was really in the bag. They were only down 1. They missed a couple of field goals, but again, and they didn't look. They had found something, and they were lighting it up. And Rodgers, the quarterback, was playing, so they just aren't scoring. So they're not consistent in their scoring. So I'll probably relax with Louisiana Monroe a little bit, but they still came through on the lock. Again, it was a Z team, Texas State, and Louisiana Monroe has been scoring. So that was the thought, and it won. A lot of winners yesterday. College, I seem to be nailing. But we're here to talk about the pros. So let's see. What is new in the pros? So let's go down this. Houston, Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback. All of a sudden, the lines dropped to 4.5, over under 45. Dallas, Dak's probable, but we think he'll play. The only one with the questionable is Cooper. He's questionable with the hamstring or something. All these Alabama wide receivers have hamstring issues. I've never seen anything like it. Minnesota, Baltimore. So that line's Dallas minus 9.5, over under 49.5. Dak's going to play. Judy's playing for Denver, but not Hamler from Penn State. And, of course, they've now traded Von Miller, so you've lost that. But in the NFL, there's other linebackers. So how much do you interpret, okay, Derrick Henry's out for the year. How much do you interpret what's the backup going to do? And we saw with Cleveland, the kid from Louisiana Monroe came in, or Louisiana Lafayette, I think, came in and put up 150 yards. So, again, you're dealing with professionals, so you got to be careful. Just because somebody's injured, their backups are professionals and are going to, they'll do fine. So you can't just assume that. It's got to be the right player, which we'll get to. Minnesota, Baltimore minus 6, over under 50.5. New England 3.5, 41.5. Not much. New England's got the whole rosters on questionable, on injured. But Mac Jones is not on the list, so he'll be playing. And then it's just a matter of how strong the defense is. For Carolina, Darnell is questionable, and now McCaffrey is now from off the list to now questionable with the hamstring. So is McCaffrey going to play? He might, because he's questionable, and he's been out for 6-7 weeks with the hamstring injury. So again, way to play these players in preseason. It really gets them ready for the season. I'm afraid to get them injured in preseason. Meanwhile, they don't play in the regular season because they're injured because you're not playing them. So Darnell, if he doesn't play, it's a plus. If McCaffrey plays, there's a different story. So again, New England with a lot of injuries. Carolina with Darnell, who stinks anyway. You're better off if he's in to bet New England. Buffalo, Jacksonville, Buffalo 14.5, 48.5. Lawrence playing for Jacksonville. That's all you need to know there. Buffalo, nothing serious as far as injuries. Buffalo, they've got a weird schedule. They beat KC and they lost to Pitt and they lost to Tennessee and then they beat Miami twice, the Jets. Now they get Jacksonville. They get a really easy schedule. Well, here's the problem when you're trending them is the stats are against Miami twice, the Jets twice. Now you got Jacksonville. So what's the real? So you look at the Pitt game they lost, the Tennessee game they lost, and they beat Kansas City, who looks like crap anyway. So now you really wonder how good Buffalo is. It's hard now after they play New England twice, we'll get a little better sense, but still, it's kind of tainted. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Cincinnati -2, over under 47.5. It looks like Mayfield's playing with the hurt shoulder. Landry's questionable, but he'll probably play a little bit. Chubb's playing. Hunt's on the injured reserve, but they got that kid from Louisiana, Lafayette. This is a rivalry game, obviously. Cleveland's won 4 of the last 5. You got Burrow and Chase, which Cincinnati's going to show up, the team that beat Baltimore, the team that lost to the Jets. And this is always the thing. They're at home. Home for Cincinnati is meaningless. They are not often a home favorite, so you can't really get trend on that. So this is what should be a close game, I would imagine. Oakland 3 over Giants. Barkley's out and Shepard's out for the Giants. Oakland, Josh Jacobs is questionable, but I'm sure he'll play. And the question is, what's going on with the new coach? So you don't know because how's Oakland going to play? So not really sure how the new coach is making it easier and the scoring more or what. But it's hard to take Oakland as a road favorite. Atlanta, New Orleans. New Orleans won 6 out of the last 7, and they don't have their quarterback. Trevor Siemian from Northwestern will be the quarterback, not Taysom Hill. And, Atlanta's terrible anyway. So New Orleans normally wins it, but that's with Drew Brees. So what do you do with that? I don't know. It's a hard call. New Orleans, good defense. So it's really their defense carrying them on. So we'll see what Simeon does. But again, it's all Sean Payton there. San Diego, Philly, that line's dropped to even. Herbert is probable with the hand injury. So he hurt his hand. He's hurt it. It's been hurt the last few weeks. I expect him to play. No other major injury. In Philadelphia, the line's even. So over under 49.5. So that's really the only injury there. KC 7 over Green Bay. As we know, Rodgers is out. And if Love's the quarterback, I don't know, Kansas City -7. All we know is Chocolate Eclair's out. They're just not that good right now. I look at this game as a probably an under without Rodgers. They can't trust Love, so they're going to probably run the ball more. Frisco has jumped to 4 over Arizona with what you want to call it, Kyler Murray. He's probable with his foot, but this line tells me he's not going to start or play because it went from Arizona -2 to Frisco now -4. So they're obviously thinking it's a game time decision, but they know something we don't, and they're laying the 4. The Rams 7.5 over Tennessee. Stafford looks like he's playing. Henry, of course, is out. Who's the backup for Henry? We'll see. Now he can just easily run for 120 as Henry did. So it's a good one. But with Stafford playing, looks good for the Rams. And then the Bears and Pitt 6.5, 39. Obviously, Schuster's out, but Khalil Mack's out for Chicago, which makes Pitt, as long as Fields is starting for the Bears, you got to love Pittsburgh in this game. So let's look at so those are the injuries and the line movement. So let's look at the game. So Houston, Miami, now with Tyrod Taylor, Houston is a very live dog in the game. Tagliavua, who they kept saying he had ribs, is now it's got a finger issue or something. And what finger? But even so, they're not going to blow out Houston with Tyrod Taylor. And even Mills was starting to get better, but not great. But against a weak Miami team, these are Z against Z. And Taylor, it's probably an over game and probably take Houston as the dog. Dallas and Denver, I don't know what to do with this game. 9.5 is a big number. 49.5. Denver without Von Miller now. Dallas looks like Dak will play, so you would think Dallas down to 3.5, which I hate. In the pros, they can easily win by 3 or be up 10, and then Denver gets a late touchdown, and Dallas doesn't care because they win by 3. So it's a real tricky spread. 49.5, I would think is more of an under. They'll probably run Elliott a lot more today, but we'll see. Denver's defense. Minnie in Baltimore. This game, I have no idea. Minnie's got a good defense. Baltimore has Jackson, so it's you don't know which Jackson you're going to get. This is the problem with the NFL right now. There's so many. There's no consistency in the teams. Is Baltimore going to get blown out like they did against Cincinnati, or are they going to beat Minnesota? Which Minnesota team shows up? I honestly think this would be an under game at 50. Normally, I would say Minnie and 12, but I can't. I don't even know that. I mean, Cousins is such a choke. Which Jackson? But I would think this will be a close game. Probably take the dog in the game. New England and Carolina, again, Darnell's out. He's questionable, and then McCaffrey might play. So, again, they're dicking around with us till game time. Like, is McCaffrey playing or not? You should know by now. Same thing with Darnell. So, I don't know. If you hear it, act accordingly. So, if Darnell's out and McCaffrey's out, take New England, of course. Otherwise, again, you don't know which team. New England's playing better. The over-under 41.5. I like the under in the game just based on Carolina probably not going to score a lot and good defense, so keep New England from scoring a lot. So that would be my guess on this game. Buffalo minus 14.5 over Jacksonville. I really like Buffalo here, minus 8.5. Again, it's under 10. Over under 48.5. It's hard to, Jacksonville's terrible. So Buffalo should score a lot on them. And then it'll be how much is Jacksonville going to score. So I think the play there is Buffalo. Cincy Cleveland minus 2, 47.5. Cleveland's got their injuries. Mayfield will play, which means they'll probably run the ball more. I look for this game as an under 47.5. And I also like Cleveland as the dog. As long as Mayfield plays, they don't need Beckham. Orlando, just somebody out there, and they got Chubb. So they're going to run Chubb a lot. And then Cincinnati with Burrow, which Burrow shows up. It's when you lose to the Jets, it's really hard to have confidence in the team. How did they beat Baltimore? So if you're good enough to kill Baltimore in Baltimore, why would you lose to the Jets? And you look like you couldn't. They couldn't get first downs against the Jets. Then the Jets play Indy, and Indy lights them up. And you're like, well, where was that with Cincinnati? Why weren't they running the ball more? Even at the end, they were up 5. Why didn't they just run for first downs and run the clock out? Why did he throw an interception? Like, what are you doing? So, again, it's bad coaching. And, again, it's a lot of inconsistency. So, in this type of game, I like the dog. Normally, Mayfield will keep them close, and I like the game under. Oakland, the Giants, Oakland, I don't know. Carr should be playing. Again, you got a new coach, so how's the coach going to go? They're a road favorite, and I hate road favorites, so I can't play Oakland. The Giants, do I play them as a dog? They played Kansas City good, so that's one game. But what do you get here? So do I go over or under? Well, the Giants, pretty good defense. Oakland, you don't know what you're getting. Ruggs obviously is out killing some girl, so I would think the only way you can play this game's under 52 and a half. It's a big number for the Giants in Oakland. You just don't know what you're getting here at this point. Atlanta, New Orleans minus 6.5, 42 and a half. New Orleans has won 6 out of the last 7. This is a New Orleans game, but now you got Trevor Siemian from Northwestern as the quarterback. What do you do with him? How do you? I mean, he'll be okay. He came in and beat Tampa last week, or with the help of a pick six. So, I mean, Atlanta's terrible. So you look at the season series, and it's all New Orleans. Most of it's with Drew Brees. So Drew Brees beat Atlanta. Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill, I think, will be playing. I don't know why he's not starting, but maybe they want to use him in his other role. He does have the concussion. Defense, I think, wins it for New Orleans here. So this is a small New Orleans. Over under a 42 and a half with Siemian. I was going to go over with Hill, but I don't trust it. Probably an under game with the good New Orleans defense and Siemian probably running the ball with Kamara a lot. Philly, San Diego. This game, I don't understand the spread. I have San Diego laying 3. The spread's even. You can get San Diego in 6. Herbert's hand, he should be playing. He's probable with the hand. Philly, who knows what they got. Over under 49 and a half, running a college offense. San Diego has seen Jackson. Hurts is not a big deal to them. I like San Diego in 6 in the game, even if you got 5. As long as Herbert's playing, San Diego will win this game. Green Bay, KC, as we know, Rodgers is out. Love's going to be quarterbacking. I look for Green Bay to run the ball 60 times today. Very little passing from Love. He's not very good. Huge mistake drafting him in the first round. And I understand why they did it. His junior year at Utah State, he was good. The coach moves on to Texas Tech. They get the old coach back at Utah State. He fucks him up. Now the guy can't quarter it all. He's terrible. He's not a first-round pick. He's not a fifth-round pick. Again, why don't they just trade for Jake Fromm and they'd be all set? So I just sit here and no, you're not going to – with Love, it's very difficult. KC's terrible. They had the Giants, and they couldn't beat the Giants. They barely beat the Giants. So I can't take KC here. Green Bay's got a good defense. This is I went under with the game, 54.5, 54. Just look for Green Bay to run a lot and look for KC to have trouble, turnovers and trouble in the red zone without running. That's what will happen. Let's see. Stephen Wilson, what do you think about New Orleans and Minnesota? Yeah, I just said, well, New Orleans, again, with Siemian, it's hard to play. They are the play in it, but it's with Drew Brees. And Minnesota, yeah, I mean, they should be a good dog in here. Maybe the under, it's 50, maybe you go under 56. Can you trust Minnie in 12? I mean, it seems like a good play. But with Baltimore, you never know which. This is the problem with these teams. You never know which one's going to show up. So normally, yeah, Minnie in 12 would be good. Normally, New Orleans even would be good. But you got to watch the injuries and everything else. So it's a tough one, but that's how I would play it. I think I would play, Minnie, either Minnie in 12 or Minnie under 50. And I'd play him with Buffalo or San Diego maybe. Frisco minus 4. Is Kyler Murray playing? He's probable, but the line says he's not. In other words, who's betting on Frisco if Kyler Murray's playing? If Kyler Murray playing, this is a dog series, and I would be all over Arizona. This would have been my lock had Kyler Murray been playing, and it still could be the lock if Kyler Murray, by the time the game started noon, 1 o'clock, that they say, okay, yeah, Kyler Murray is going to play. So I don't know. Dak Prescott waited until half hour before the game to say he's not playing last week, but the line, they seem to know it, and Dallas won anyway. So I don't know who Arizona's backup is. I'm sure he's somebody decent. I still like Arizona in 10 in the game. I guess if Murray doesn't play and the backup's in, I would probably play the game under, but I like Arizona getting now 10 points. I still like them because Frisco's not very good. And Arizona bringing the backup, and it's a system that's not really Murray. It's just a system. They spread it out, throw, and they got so many good receivers. Seems like anybody could quarterback there. Tennessee and the Rams. Rams laying 7.5. Stafford is probable. He probably will play. Henry, we know, is out. Who's the backup? I'm sure he's going to gain 100 yards just like Henry did. Tannehill, he's terrible without Henry. And then Brown is questionable. They're a good wide receiver. Julio Jones is now probable with the hamstring. He's always out for the last 5 years with the hamstring, unless it's Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. I like the Rams in this game. I like the game under, too. Without Henry, Tennessee's going to have trouble scoring. And as long as Stafford plays, they should win the game. And then the last one, Chicago and Pitt. Pitt's minus 6.5 over under 39. Khalil Mack is out. We know Schuster's out, but with Khalil Mack out, I see Roethlisberger is probable with a hand or something. He'll play. I like the game under, to tell you the truth, just because Chicago Fields isn't going to score. I like Pittsburgh, again, because of Fields, so you're not going to get a lot of scoring. Pitt knows how to handle this guy. Pitt needs the game, so I look for Pitt to win, and it'd be low scoring. Any other questions, comments, or anything? Any injury details that I might have missed? So let's look at the trends. Now, I've talked about this in my pro. Where's it? So if we look at teaser trends for 2021, come on. So if we just look at 2021 teaser trends, Mini is 6-1. If you bet them or bet against, Green Bay 7-1. Again, that's all with Rodgers, and the one loss was to New Orleans. Dallas is 7-0. So Dallas should be. It's going to be a tough play, laying 9.5, but I think it's just how it ends. I mean, it should be. I don't think they'll blow them out, but I think they should win by 10. But we'll see. Arizona is 7-1. Again, we've got them as a dog. They're a good dog. They're 3-0 as a road dog. They won at the Rams. That's their big win. So we'll see. Cincinnati 7-1. Again, losing to the Jets, but as a home favorite, they're only 1-0. So they're 5-0 as a dog, and they're 1-0 as a home favorite. And then this is Cleveland, so it's a tough one. Cleveland's 6-2. As home favorites is where they struggle, but as on the road, they're 3-0. New England's 7-1. Indy's already won. So New England's also 7-1. So those are teams that are really good this year, just this year. Because there's so many changes, it's really hard for me. I can go back to 2020, but it's really hard after that. Bet against teams. So these are teams in the teaser. We go the other way. Kansas City, 7-1, 88% against. And I have made that. You go to the Super Bowl 2 times in a row, especially after losing. The loser of the Super Bowl usually struggles the next year. But when you go back twice, Miami Dolphins, okay, they lose to Dallas, then they won the next 2. Then the next year they struggled a little and lost that Raider game, and then you never heard from them again. So it's hard to go, 3 times to the Super Bowl. They've been there twice, But after you lose the Super Bowl, it's extremely different. You're usually flat because you gave everything, and now you go, oh my God, I got to go back. It's like starting over. And as you can see, they're really struggling with it. Bet against Houston 7-1, but not with Tyrod Taylor. With Tyrod Taylor, they were, I think, they were either, I think it was, he got hurt in the second week. They won the first week handily, and maybe the second week. So they're 7-1 against, but not with Tyrod Taylor. Miami 8-0 against, mostly Taylor, a little bit with Brissett, but still weak coaching, weak no running game. Jacksonville 7-0 against, not surprising with Trevor Lawrence. Even in the Miami game when they did win, it was a push, but I give it a win. So, you could say they're 6-0-1 against, but they are basically 7-0. Cleveland 7-1 against. They're just they're 6-2 with, so they play close games, is what it says. Washington 8-0 against. We don't get them today. Atlanta 7-0 against. So yes, you could have a New Orleans teaser, and New Orleans does own the series. The question is Simeon. And then, of course, our beloved Lions 7-1 against, 88%. And unfortunately, this is the problem with the bye. We don't get the bet against Detroit. We don't get a bet against Washington. Frisco is 6-1 against, again with Arizona. So Arizona 7-1 with, Frisco 6-1 against. So if Murray plays, this was going to be a lock. And that's the problem, right? You got to relax. You can't bet as strongly if Murray doesn't play, which we won't know. If he does play, if it's announced soon, I will make a new bet on there. So my customers, this is the difference with me, is I posted on my site, but I'll post now. I'm not like the average handicapper who posts on Thursday. He doesn't know about weather. He doesn't know about injuries. And he's in it to charge you, versus me, where if I hear the news, I'll post, so if I hear that Murray's playing, I'm gonna post an Arizona dog getting 10. So that's why I say be interactive with me and check my lines. Now, if you hear that he's playing, then you're going to play an Arizona teaser with Pittsburgh because Khalil Mack's out. So that's the plan for today. Murray doesn't play, just ignore it. But if they say, yep, Murray's going to go, even if it's near game time, it's a half hour before, then you play that Arizona Pitt teaser, and you play it big. So if I go to 20 and 21 and we look at it, and I did all this in my NFL one. So in my NFL, if we go back to 2020, we got Green Bay at 21-5. We've got Dallas 18-5. We've got Miami 19-5, but they were really good last year. This year they suck. Buffalo is 22-4. They're the team, and San Diego is 18-5. And then we go against Kansas City again, 22-5 against. So KC's really, the play would have been Green Bay all day. See, this is the frustrating part about betting the football. I finally get the game I want. I'm going to lock Green Bay with Arizona, and both quarterbacks are hurt. Rodgers with the COVID, which is a joke. I mean, because he's going to play next week. He's fine. He tested positive, but the tests aren't even accurate. So it's so stupid. But here you got it, and then he's out, but he's fine. He'll be on the sidelines going, I don't know why I'm sitting out. And so this would have been a lock, Green Bay, but unfortunately we can't. With love, you can't lock Green Bay. San Diego is 19-4 against. So they play close games here. It's even. You're hoping Philly goes to 1, but you hope Herbert plays. You're basing it on Herbert playing, which he is probable. Houston's 21-3 against, but now with Tyrod Taylor, it's not 21-3 with Tyrod Taylor. So you've got the quarterback makes the difference. Jacksonville 20-3 against, 87%. So that's why I really like Buffalo. So you got Buffalo 22-4 going against Jacksonville 20-3 against. It's a beautiful game for Buffalo today. Philly 19-5 against. So again, we like San Diego as long as Herbert plays. Atlanta 19-4 against. That's 83%, which we would like New Orleans. But Trevor Siemian, so you're hoping he's going to be okay. And then Detroit 20-4 against. They don't play. And Minnesota 19-4 against, to go with the question of, do I take him against Baltimore? They are 5-2 as a road dog, and Baltimore is 7-4 with as a home favorite, which is only 64% in a teaser. So they're not that strong. So that's what you have. That's what you have. Okay, Andy, I killed on this week. NBA, don't do NBA. College football. If you're the teaser king, I'm the teaser prince. Okay, Andy, you like KC and the Rams. I don't like KC. I do like the Rams. As I said, KC, I played under. And again, I think Green Bay runs the ball, but KC, I can't play them because they just look like crap. I mean, they barely beat a giant team who's not very good. Now, without Rodgers, yeah, KC should win the game. I agree. But I played the game under because I think Green Bay is going to run Jones 50 times. And KC really is having trouble scoring. They're not running the ball. The Rams, I would say take the Rams and Pitt. I think Pitt, without Khalil Mack and with Fields playing, I think Pitt's a really good play there. Like I just said, Buffalo is really good. Cleveland, I like. Dallas, probably. But you're laying 3.5. You got to be careful. Houston with Taylor. New England, I don't know. If McCaffrey plays, I wouldn't take New England. If he doesn't play, I think New England wins. But again, I don't like him as a road favorite. It's tough, like Oakland. I can't play him as a road favorite. San Diego, I like because the spread's even. And then it's up to Arizona. If Kyler Murray plays, Arizona's the team today. So my lock would have been Buffalo, Arizona, and Green Bay. I lose 2 quarterbacks, and so Buffalo I like, but I can't. There's nobody to lock them with. Unfortunately, Georgia doesn't play in the NFL, or I would lock Georgia under again. And that's the thing with the way I play my teasers. I had Georgia in 2 teasers, of course, and I had Wake Forest in 2 teasers. And that's why I banged it for 29 units. I thought about doing a 35 unit with it, but little superstitious. I figure if I go 35, it'll lose. If I go 29, it'll win. And so it went 29 and it won. And but I love that one. Wake Forest was up big, getting points, and Georgia under. Where they thought 60 points was coming from in a Georgia game, they're out of their freaking minds. If Georgia plays Alabama, I don't know. Alabama, LSU gave them all they want. I don't know where that came from. But Georgia plays Alabama again. That will not be high scoring, and Georgia will not lose that game. That's a different animal. This college playoff crap is so stupid. Cincinnati's undefeated, beat Notre Dame, and they're not even in the playoff. Like, seriously? Because they only win by 15 points. They got to win by 50 to be a better team, really? Anyway, so that's what's so stupid about it. But if we look at teams that really need the game, let's see. Well, many kind of, but they're so far away. Many's really, even though they're 3-3 and Green Bay's got 6 wins, they're really not back against the wall because they're really not that good of a team. New England, I would say, has got the back against the wall. They're a game or 2 behind Buffalo. They're 4-4, but they're playing better, so they could have the back against the wall. Cleveland has the back against the wall this week. Cincy now is a game behind Baltimore thanks to losing to the Jets, where Cleveland is behind them. So Cleveland really, this is do or die for Cleveland today in a series that they're 4-1. So Cleveland plays Cincy very good. Again, they haven't seen. I don't know if they saw Burrow twice last year because he got injured. They might have seen him once, but they play Cincy good. Oakland, no, they're in first place, so they're going to relax today. New Orleans has the back against the wall, sort of. I mean, when I say that, I mean they need the win. They'll be focused because they're a game behind Tampa, so they need the win. San Diego needs to win. They're a game behind Oakland. Philly's not. I mean, the Philly's way out, but they're not a good team. Green Bay's fine. They're coasting. KC needs to win, but I don't know that. I'm tired of saying KC needs to win after losing, but yeah, I mean, they need it. The question is, they're just so bad right now. They're not KC. They are now like San Diego. They are now like Denver. So you can't think of KC as Super Bowl KC, best team in the league. That's now Tampa Bay. That's now Green Bay. That's not KC. So KC's now, they're a level lower than that. So they're not KC. Arizona, they're with the team that really needs to win today is the Rams. They're tied with Arizona, but Arizona beat them head to head. The Rams have to win. They're playing Tennessee, who does not have to win. They got a big 3-game lead after beating Indy last week. So look for the Rams will be intense. Arizona needs to win, but without Murray. So if Murray's playing, Arizona will win the game. And Pitt needs to win. The Bears are 3. See, teams that are 3-3 and need to win, you can't bet on them. It's Tampa after a loss, you bet. It's maybe New Orleans with Drew Brees or Peyton Manning when he was at Denver after a loss. Those teams that are really good after a loss, or they're a game or 2 games behind, but they're really, really good, and they just had a hard schedule, which is kind of Kansas City, but what they showed me against the Giants, forget it. Hey, Alex, how are you? Good morning. Just going through injuries. Let me know if you hear anything on Arizona and Kyler Murray. I'm instructing that if Kyler Murray plays to tease Arizona, Pittsburgh, or Arizona and the Rams, or do all 3. I know you like doing 5-16 teasers, so that would be a nice 3-teamer for you if Murray plays, because we like the Rams and Pittsburgh. See, now my theory on teasers is I've got them in 2 teasers. I've got the Rams in 2 and Pitt in 2 already. It's just a matter of, and I think I have Buffalo in 2. So that's how you do it. So my lock yesterday was Wake Forest with Georgia under, Wake Forest and a teaser in a lock with Louisiana Monroe. So I got Wake Forest and 2 teasers. So all I had to do was go 3-0 to win big on 2 teasers, and I went 3-0, not 4-0, and that's the point. Then I had Louisiana Monroe and a pro teaser, I think with Buffalo today. And then I have Georgia under, I think it was with Ohio State. I'm not sure. But I had Georgia under and another teaser. So you win twice. So I don't have to go 4-0 or 6-0. All I got to do is go, I get 3 winners and 2 teasers. So I just have to pick. I don't have to do. So if I played 3 teasers with 6 games, I'd have to go 6-0. But with me, all I got to do is go like 4-0, putting these teams in multiple teasers. And that's what you want. You don't want to have 6 teams, and you don't want to have 3 teasers with 6 teams, because you're not going to go 6-0. You're going to probably go 5-1, maybe 4-2. And if you go 4-2, you break even, unless you're lucky enough to put the 2 in the same teaser and lose it. Then if you put both of the losers together, and that's what I'm doing. That's the art of this, is to figure out better combinations. And that's what I really am expert at. So like today, you tease LA with Pittsburgh is probably your best 2 that you can bet more on. And then you got Buffalo with LA or Buffalo with Pitt. Now that Khalil Mack's out, I like Pitt even more. Where then you look at like what Andy was saying with Minnesota. No, Steven was like New Orleans, Minnesota. Well, these are high risk games because you're fucking with Baltimore and you don't know what Baltimore team and you don't know what Minnesota. Minnesota should play them close, but Kirk Cousins is, very erratic. And then New Orleans has Simeon. So I don't know. With the Rams, with Stafford playing and Pitt with Mack out is a much higher pick, right? It's a much higher teaser. I can bet more on it with more confidence. This is all about confidence. Do you think Minnie and 12.5 or 12 is gonna hang in with Baltimore? You don't know. I saw Baltimore fuck me with San Diego. San Diego's a better team than Minnesota, and they killed them. So you've got more risk betting against the Baltimore, especially at home. Maybe you have a little less risk with Dallas at home against Denver, but then you got the 9.5. Now it's 3.5, and now you got to worry, are they going to win by 3? And this is the pros, not college, where they run up the score. This is just get the win. So if Dallas could be up 10 points easy, here comes a late touchdown by Denver, and they lose by 3. And that happens all the time in the pros, not much in college. So that's what you're trying to weed out. With Tyrod Taylor playing, I'm saying there's less risk with Houston because Miami's just horrible. And as I just gave you the stats, they're like 85% against. So here comes Houston, who's not good. But with Tyrod Taylor, they killed Jacksonville, and then they were winning their second game when he got hurt. So I have more confidence in Houston getting 10.5 with Tyrod Taylor, who apparently is healthy or he wouldn't be playing. So that's what you look at. New England, Carolina, I have no confidence in New England because I don't know if McCaffrey's playing. That's why I make the comments on the injuries. With Darnell, I don't care. He sucks. But I'm more worried about the backup. It's like Miami. If Tagliabue doesn't play and Brissett plays, I'm more worried because Brissett's better. And this is where you look at the coaches like they got their head up their ass because they don't play the best players. Look at Miami College. This Van Dyke won again. I had Miami yesterday, but I didn't play them over. I played them -4, and they won by 3. So that was my loser. But I was right with Miami with the quarterback, and that's what you're looking at. Why the coach didn't play Van Dyke, why he started King, who's been injured for the last few years. I think this is his 6th college year. So that's what you wonder about is what the coaches are doing, and they don't play the right players. I still think Buffalo should be playing Jake Fromm and not Allen. Allen. See, now I'm starting to see it. I saw Monday night, like Peyton, like he went to the Peyton Manning camp, and that's what Daniel Jones of the Giants did. So all of a sudden, these guys are better quarterbacks because they went to the Peyton Manning camp. I could throw up. If that's the reason for starting the guy, he went to the Peyton Manning camp, you got to be out of your mind. That's not a reason to start these guys. So let's see, Cincinnati, Cleveland again. Mayfield, how healthy, but Chubb, so it's going to be more running, so it's probably more of an under game. Cincinnati, they'll just double team Chase, you think. So really what you're looking for is risk, and then when you get good teams who need to win, like the Rams, like Pittsburgh, you get them even against team like Tennessee with Henry out. Again, I'm worried about Henry's backup, but that's how you get the lock. That's how you get a stronger bet that maybe you don't lock. That's how I vary my units. So I want to bet more on that teaser than I do on a San Diego Cleveland teaser, right? So I played Cleveland and San Diego in the teaser, but not for as much because there's more risk. This is all risk and return, risk and reward. So I'm willing to take more risk with the better reward than I am with other teams or other quarterbacks. So that's really what you're looking for in all betting and stocks and in all life. It's risk and reward. And then that's why you mix your betting. You can't just play every game the same. It makes no sense because there's more risk on one team than the other. Sometimes I get it wrong where the stronger team loses and the weaker team wins because it's a gut like I like San Diego. I don't play them big, and then San Diego beats Philly because they're a much better team. So I'll win the San Diego Cleveland teaser, which I have less confidence in than the LA Pitt teaser. But we got to bet the games now. We can't bet them after they're over. So that's really what you're looking for in a teaser. Find the team, aka LA or Pitt today, without Matt is not playing, and then you bet it in 2-3 teasers, and now I don't have to go 4-0. So if I play 4 teams and 2 teasers, I got to go 4-0. Otherwise, I lose juice and I lose money unless I bet them for different amounts. But if I have LA in 2 teasers, so I put them with Pitt and then I put them with Arizona, and I go 3-0, not 4-0, and that's a huge difference. And I win 2 teasers. And that's a whole difference between winning and losing is I only had to go 3-0. I didn't have to go 4-0, but I had to hit the Ram teaser. That's what you're looking for. I'm driving. What are we going with today? Well, I just told you, take the Rams, Pitt, and Buffalo, and I took Kansas City under, and then we're waiting on Kyler Murray. So if Kyler Murray plays, we're taking Arizona. You'll see. The line's 4 now. So if the line all of a sudden drops to 2 or 1, Frisco, Murray's playing. So that's what I would keep on. Andy, I had Miami game over and Ole Miss 10-point dividend. Very good. That's I think Ole Miss Miami game over. I know is a winner, and Ole Miss was a winner. Liberty's a pretty good team, but that's a winner. So that was a good one. Iowa State, Houston, San Diego State. I think you won that one. Iowa State killed Texas. Houston, I think, won by 12, so that would have been good. And San Diego State, I think, won by 7 last night, but I think they're only laying 7. So that was a good one. I don't see Georgia under in your pick there, Andy. You got to just – I tell you or not, I mean, that was by lock, but just play Georgia under because you can't score on them. So when they do these statistics, Vegas has not caught on to Georgia, obviously, to make a 60 on a tease in a game with Georgia. That over-under should never be more than 40 because you can't score on them. All their games are in the 40s. Anytime you can tease it to get it under 50, bet it. Yesterday was 60. I couldn't believe it. That was my lock. I go under 66. I mean, that's the joke. So keep an eye on when you got strong defenses like Georgia does and San Diego State and some of these others. Years past was Fresno State. You couldn't score on them. That's what you look for. So really good defense, average quarterback. Georgia's quarterback's good, but that's what you're looking for. Or a really strong offense with no defense. That's why I ranked the team. So the only really under team, the best game on an over-under today is this Chicago Pitt. They're both under teams, and I played it under, and then once Khalil Mack's out, now I played Pittsburgh knowing he's out. So that's the difference. If Mack's playing, it's definitely an under. And I've already bet it under, but with Mack out, then you definitely like Pitt just to win the game. Pitt's strong enough at home, their defense, and you got Fields, so it's a double whammy. But that's what you're looking for. But I don't, I took Green Bay under. They're going to run the ball. They got a good defense, and until KC. Okay, if they would have beat the Giants 35-3, as they should have beat the Giants, as the real Chiefs would have done, I would then be all over KC today. But the fact they beat a Giant team who's terrible 20-17 against Daniel Jones, I don't have the faith that they're going to win the game because they're not a very good team right now. Everybody knows to double team Kelsey, and everybody knows to play a 2-deep zone on them. So you take away Hill, and then these other guys can't seem to catch the ball. I've seen 3 balls ricochet off face mask and get intercepted. What the hell is going on there? Where's their running? They have no running. He clears out. Nobody else is running the ball. That's where Kansas City's problem is. And I pointed that out on the NFL one, where you look at the yards and all the weak teams, Miami, Jacksonville, they don't run the ball. And that's why, the team's just playing for pass and put pressure on them, and they have no offense. UGA under, Miami over. I got you. Wake Forest is an over team. Yes, I did have Wake Forest plus the 9.5. Huge lock. Had them in 2 locks. Hartman, I love the quarterback, but yeah, their defense was atrocious yesterday, but it was okay. I mean, they had like a 14-point lead or something. So I'm getting 23 in the fourth quarter. So I loved it. But yeah, they're a live dog also. So because they were the dog, I took Wake Forest. That over under was very high. It went from 71 to 77. Now, granted, it was a 100-point game, which absolutely. And North Carolina is pretty much an over. They played Notre Dame to a 44-34 game. So, yeah, I agree with you there. But I took them because they were the dog. If they were favored, I would have probably played the game over. But I really hate playing 77s in over-unders. It makes it difficult. I like looking for the fifth, like the Georgia 60. I like that. When Georgia's 60, I love going under. But when Georgia's 38, it's hard to go under with a 38. But it's easy to go under with something in the 50s. And that's usually what I like to see, a 52, 53, and go either under or go over with it. I've seen the week before I had the Miami pit lock in college was 61. I couldn't believe it. I went over 55 and it was over at halftime. It was 48 at half. So yeah, if you see these low 60s, high 50s, and you can play those over, that's where the lock comes from. But at 77, it would have been a harder play than taking the Wake Forest as a dog against really a weak North Carolina team. I didn't see the running back going for 200 yards. He hadn't done it all year. But I do note that when a running back goes off, I do note the running back and the team, and that helps when I'm looking at the game, if they have a runner or not. And so, like I said here, so you got Miami, Houston. Miami doesn't have a runner, so they're going to just throw, and they don't have a quarterback. So when you don't have offense, it's hard to be a favorite. So if you looked at that, so let's look at Miami, Houston now with Tyrod Taylor against Taylor, without points, without anything, pick the score. You can't say Miami's going to blow them out. They don't have an offense. They're both Z teams. So how does the Z team win? So therefore, you take the dog in the Z against Z, but only because Tyrod Taylor's now playing. Even with Mills, they probably would have covered. But with Taylor, they'll get points with Taylor. Miami's not going to get a lot of points, and then you get 10.5. So that's kind of how you look at it. Again, go back to picking the game without just pick the score, and that should help you there. Dallas, Denver. See, I don't know what Denver's going to do. You got to they let Von Miller go, so you think, oh, okay. Now they're an under team, but I do like Bridgewater. He has got some scoring, and Judy's back. So again, it's not a slam dunk. Denver's an under team, but they're not a Z team. They're not. You don't score a lot on them, and Dallas is going to have trouble. They had trouble with Minnesota. Well, that's because Prescott was out. But yeah, I mean, I think Dallas wins, by at least a touchdown today would be my pick. But again, so that's what you look at. Mini Baltimore picked the final. That's the problem. Mini Baltimore, I can't pick the final. I don't know, because I don't know if Baltimore is going to score 20 or 40, and I don't know if Minnesota is going to get shut out or score 20, because you don't know what Kirk Cousins is going to do. So that's the problem when I hesitate taking Minnesota at 12, because I don't know. They're too inconsistent. I need my Joe Montanas. I need Lawrence Taylor, where I know that Giants would go under every game. That's the problem. San Diego, Philly. Now, Philly's not going to blow them out. San Diego could blow out Philly, but that's where when I look at the score, I go, that's going to be a close game. So I can take the dog, and now that you made it even, I can take San Diego in 6, just because when I look, I got a better quarterback, provided he plays, and he's probable, so I would imagine he's going to play. But he did hurt his hand, but I don't even know which hand he hurt, the right or the left. So that's how I walk through it. So Green Bay, KC, again, without Rodgers. With Rodgers, it's a Green Bay lock. Without Rodgers, it's Jordan Love, he stinks, but they're going to run the ball a lot, and I can't trust Kansas City. So that's again where you have. I'm just going to go under because I don't see a lot of points. So that's the thing. So you're looking for teams that need to win. You're looking for the Rams. So when you look at Rams and Arizona, both, the Rams need it more because Arizona beat them. Pitt needs it to get caught up to Baltimore. Cleveland needs it. Cincinnati needs it, but they fucked up against the Jets. So, now their confidence is shot. They beat Baltimore, and they think they're going to walk in and beat the Jets. They lose to the Jets. Now they're all freaked out. Here comes Cleveland, pissed off, and Cleveland will give them a game. That'll be, I don't know, 21-20, 23-20, something like that. I do see the one blowout I do see is Buffalo probably winning by 30. Trevor Lawrence has 3 interceptions or whatever. That and then the Pitt should handle Chicago easy with Fields. So again, we're betting against Fields. We're betting. Let's see. We kind of are betting against Jordan Love being able to throw, so we're betting it under, and we're betting against Hurts, and we're not taking New Orleans because of Simeon. See, it all comes back to how good the quarterback is. How is he going to do? And so Lawrence, and then Carolina with Darnold, he stinks. So you hope if he doesn't play, it's a good sign for Carolina. Jones is playing good for New England, and I think that's the only. And then we get Taylor back against Tug Tagliabue, so we like Taylor there. So you kind of look at the quarterbacks, and then if you got 2 good ones, if Rodgers and Mahomes, this would be an over game, and it was a 54 to start. And again, with this COVID crap, Rodgers is going to be sick. He tested positive on a test that's bullshit. He's not sick. And people play with the flu. I don't get it. People play injured with hurt ribs and that, and with flus and colds and everything else. They all play except for this COVID crap, which is not real. I mean, it's just, what was it? Adams had it on Green Bay last week. He's playing this week. He's fine. He was never sick. And then here you go. Rodgers, I guarantee you he plays next week, and it's all just bullshit. He should be playing this week. He's, I'm sure, healthy enough to go. And that's one thing if they're in the hospital and, they're on a respirator. Okay, I get that. But that would be a pneumonia. That would be diabetes. That would be just having a stroke. Okay, that's different. I get that. But just because you make a test and you don't have symptoms and you're not in the hospital, why aren't you playing? And that's what I have against this. Oh, the other players will get it. No, that's bullshit. So what do we got? We got so it's daylight savings, so I'm all screwed up. So it's 12:30. We got a half hour. Okay. So any other questions, comments? Who do I likes? Anything like that? Let me know. Again, in college, we're looking at mostly your playoff team. Cincinnati's been very disappointing. They need to win big to get into the playoffs. The 8-0 record doesn't help. Now, Alabama only winning by 4 against LSU. What was it, 28-24? What was Alabama? No, it's 20-14. That's not going to help them. That's going to, so that'll help Cincinnati because Alabama had a close one against a weak LSU team. All right, I got one person left. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to go eat and then get ready for the games. I'll stay a few more minutes. Anyway, so I try to cover things that will make you better bettors, make you money. Hi, Ken. Learn about sensible parlays through your YouTube last year. Oh, thank you very much, Ken. This is really a class. I mean, I'm letting you inside of my mind, and I've been doing teasers since the 70s. So I'm trying to, this is how I bet it. This is why I bet it. You always have to have, like any other investment, how and why. And once you get that, once you understand the why am I betting the game? I mean, what's making me put money on the game? I want to win, so why am I betting this game to win? And that's why I talk. Guys asking me New Orleans, Minnesota, Steven, and I'm like, why are you betting that game? You don't know what Baltimore is going to do, and New Orleans has Simeon. Not that Winston was that good. They need a quarterback. The two-team teaser parlay. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we're talking about. And sometimes if the odds are bad, you play a 3-team or a 4-team. When you really like a lot of teams, like my colleges, I've been just kicking butt and picking 10, 12 winners. You play it small, but you can play to get odds, 8 or 9-team teaser, mostly in Vegas. They have those teaser cards. They have the ties win teaser cards, which I love. And you play a 9 or 10-teamer. But yeah, the 2-teamer, that's my bread and butter, because that's, and it's easy. Like here, the Rams down to 1, Pitt down to half, makes it a game that you don't know into a game that go, well, the Rams are going to win and Pittsburgh's going to win, so let's tease it. And that's really what it's about, is knowing which way to take the number. Do I go Chicago and 12.5 or Pitt? And that's really what it's about, is figuring it out and then using the 6 points. So yeah, Ken, it's that's what's good about it. But yeah, I try to teach, and and that's why I found this live, so we can be interactive, so you can ask me questions, because I know it's easier to ask me and answer like this than it is to send an email and then I'm like, what are you talking about? How often do you hedge live your bets and perhaps even middle the result? Depends on the week I'm having. If I'm up, let's say I win $1,000 on Saturday, and it comes down to the Pitt game on Monday night. You can only hedge if you win the first half of the teaser. Always remember that. If you don't win the first half, you can't hedge. So if I played Louisiana Monroe with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Louisiana Monroe's won. Now I got Pitt minus a half. And let's say I want to make sure I don't lose. I will then I like Texans. I don't know about Falcons. Play Texans with Pittsburgh or the Rams. Why do you make it difficult on yourself? So if I don't want to lose, right? So let's say I put 500 on it, and if I lose the Pitt end of it, I'm going to be a loser for the week. But if I break even, I'm going to be a winner. I'm gonna middle the game. Then I'll take the Bears in the 6.5. I already have Pitt and a half, and the first part of the Pitt teaser is already done. Then I will middle the game, and then I can't lose, and then I could win both. And I've done that, but I know it depends. It depends on how strong the game is and what your bankroll looks like, and because we've already gotten them by the ball. So once we won the first game. Once I won Louisiana Monroe, now I got Pitt minus a half. Well, if I got Pitt minus a half, I already got them, right? It should be 6.5. I'm only laying a half, so I feel really good about it. So again, it's only when I really, I don't want to lose, and then I want to do it. Some guys will middle a lot, and I just don't. I feel confident in my picks that they're going to win. Especially like Pitt minus a half. Why would I then risk money by taking it? So if you're doing it so you don't lose, then you go ahead and middle it. And if I do it, I'm frozen. Okay. So if I do it to, it depends on my bankroll. If I'm up $5,000 and I got $500 on the teaser, I probably won't. It doesn't mean anything, and I've already got them by the balls because I've won the first half. So if I'm even or I don't want to lose, or I'm losing and I don't want to risk as much, then I will middle it, hoping to win both halves. Because now the Rams would be a better one at 7.5. So I get the Rams minus 1.5. Now I can take Tennessee in 7.5, hope the Rams win by 7 or 6, and then I win both sides. So that's what you would do. I've done it, not a lot, but I've done it maybe 20%. of my bets. When I get a real lively, if I don't, if I feel the game, then I won't middle it. But if like Minnesota, Baltimore, if I had Baltimore even in a teaser with Louisiana Monroe, well, no, I would probably have done if I had Minnesota in 12 and I had Louisiana Monroe already in. Then that's when I would take Baltimore -6 and hope they won by 7 or 10 or 11. That's how I would do it if I'm scared of the Baltimores or Cincinnati, Cleveland. If I had Cleveland with the college, and I got Cleveland in 8.5, but I'm scared of the game. Cincinnati. That's when I would take Cincinnati -2.5 and go, wow, that's a great number. Now they win by 3 and I win both sides. But that's the beauty of it. You can win both sides. You're welcome, Ken. But that's the logic of it. If you're scared of the second team, like San Diego, Philly, you can't do it. You get 6, but you got even. It's not a good one. KC 7, you could have, if it was 7.5, you could take KC minus the 1.5. And then you can take Green Bay plus 7.5. But I mean, notice Green Bay, KC's only a 7-point favorite with Aaron Rodgers out, which seems really strange. Ken, so the actual kickoff times matter on your plays. Well, what happens, Ken, if I hear news that like Kyler Murray's a game time decision. So right now I can't really lock Arizona. I don't know if he's playing, but if at 2:00, and I'm East Coast, right? So 2:00, they say Murray's playing because he's going out to practice an hour or two before the game, and that's when he's going to make his decision. It's not right at 4:00 Eastern time. So if I then hear that he's playing, I'm making that bet, and I'm going to play Arizona, and I'll play him with either the Rams or Pittsburgh. And that's what I mean by the times. Otherwise, my bets are already in. I put them in some on Friday and some on Saturday as I like the team, and I'm trying to get the good point spread. Let's say Buffalo, I put it in at 14 ahead of the 4 because I knew it was people are going to bet Buffalo. Or Houston, I put in once I heard Taylor was playing because I knew the action was going to go on Houston. So I got it in early. And now it went from 5.5 to 4.5. So I did get it in early. So that's what I try to do because I know where the line's going to go. I'm that knowledgeable about it. So that's what I mean by times. Otherwise, the bets are already in for the 1:00 games. That's all done. And, you're buying from me. So you're going to my site for the picks. I can't really put the game up 10 minutes before because you've got to go to the site and see that I put it. So I try to make a limit on it. But like Sunday afternoon, I will put, at 2:00, if I really like a 4:00 game or there's a change in injury, I've already bet it. I've already got LA and Pitt in a teaser and Buffalo with LA in a teaser. That's already done. But if I hear Murray's playing, then I'll add that teaser to the mix. So that's what happens. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the picks are already in. The locks, there's no locks today. The lock got robbed from me, would have been Green Bay, Arizona, would have been the lock. I thought about Buffalo and the Rams as a lock. I just played them big, but not locked it. Pittsburgh would have been a lock once Khalil Mack's out. Share site info again, please. www.teaserking.com. I do post my history so you can see that I'm not full of crap, and I show my winners and my losers, which no other handicapper has the balls to do. They just show the winners. Oh, you're welcome, Ken. I mean, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing interactive live. I could just do this on my own and not do it. And I very rarely, this is new doing this Saturday, Sunday pregame because it is live. I can do it and talk to you guys. Before it wasn't live, I would just do it and then I would upload it, but there'd be no point in doing a Saturday, Sunday show because it wouldn't be live. And so I've already done my pros, right? I've already walked through the stats. But again, the unknown, when I did it, Tyrod Taylor wasn't playing. So now he's playing. So I want to tell everybody Houston's a good play with Tyrod Taylor. And then I know Stafford was questionable. Now he's probable, so I think he's playing. We know Henry's out, but now we know Ruggs got in the car accident, so now we know he's out. So now that affects the Oakland, lane 3 to the Giants. The line didn't move, but I don't know why. It should have. He has some value. And then we know New Orleans, that Tyson Hill is not quarterbacking, that the Trevor Siemian is, but he's not bad. He wasn't bad at Northwestern, and he did play well last week. So you just need to get him 4 or 5 games in just to see. But Dak should be playing this week. Darnell, we don't know. Maybe they've announced it. I'm not watching the pregame. And then any late line movements, you're just keeping a check on it. Very surprised to get a one-on-one with the TK. Well, I've discovered that it's live. So, when I do my other shows, feel free to step in on, usually I try to do College Wednesday, Pro Thursday, and then I usually try to do a Monday recap. So I'll do the recap tomorrow where I go over the college plays I had and what I learned, and then the pro plays today, we'll review what happened, why I won, why I lost. You always need to ask yourself, why did I lose? Why did I bet it? What was the point of the bet? And then why did I lose it? And that's the key. So I lost like Fresno State yesterday. Why did I bet it? Well, because Fresno State, Boise's not that good this year. Why did I lose it? Because I undervalued Boise. The quarterback played for Fresno. They've been playing good. They just beat Nevada and they beat UCLA. So I am surprised that they got killed like they did. But that's why I bet them. They're a very good team and they needed the game. And, so that's why I bet them. Why did I bet Alabama? Well, because they need to win for the playoffs. So that's why I bet Cincinnati. So that they didn't come through. So I probably won't bet Cincinnati going forward. Maybe against SMU, depending on the search. See, that's when they'll get up, play SMU. They know SMU can beat them. That'll scare them. And then they'll play, and then they'll win by 40 against SMU or Houston. That's when they'll play, but not now. For some reason, against Tulane and Tulsa, they're not playing, and then other teams kill them. That's what I know. Why did I play Georgia under? Because Georgia's got a great defense. So there's always, why are you making the bet? And then how much are you betting? And if you love the bet, you're putting it in multiple teasers so you can win multiple. So that's why I think people get confused when they buy from me and they see all these games and they're going, well, I can't bet all these games. And that's okay. Bet them small. If you're a $100 player, bet them for 25. But that's why I have a lot of games. I always have a reason to have the games, and I'm betting all those. But because in college, there's so many conferences, right? So, you got Ohio State, but then you got ACC, and you got Oregon over here. I hit Oregon yesterday, and you got Baylor and Oklahoma, and you got Alabama. So in each conference, I'm betting against the Z teams, and that's why you have a lot of bets. In the pros, it's just whatever comes out. It's who needs it. Cleveland must win today. Pitt must win. The Rams must win. Green Bay doesn't. Kansas City must win, but they're not that good. San Diego must win. So that's why you're getting so many plays, and then it's the spread. So if you get, Cleveland's the dog, I'm playing it. If Cleveland was favored, I'd be taking Cincinnati today. Buffalo's got Jacksonville. Buffalo doesn't need to win. Now they're starting to, I need to win for the number 1 seed. And as you get further in the season, then even though Buffalo's way up in their league, they need the number 1 seed. But since New England's playing good, Buffalo now needs to win to stay ahead of New England. So there's all these mind games that they play that they need to win. So you're going to get a good effort from them. And that's what you want to bet on, the good effort. Okay. Time for the games. Again, www.teaserking.com. I had one guy email me, should I play the locks? Just play the locks. If I give you a 29 unit lock and you know me, that's very unusual. Usually the highest I go is, mostly I do 21 units and then maybe a 25. So I'm giving you a 29. Just play it. He asked me if I should play it. I didn't see the email. I apologize. And then by the time I saw it, it had already won. I said, I already won the 29 unit one. What are you waiting for? Just play it. He's played my locks all the time. So, although I thought he bought the month from me, so I was a little surprised. But anyway, good luck today. Keep that in mind. So try to listen, try to learn what I'm telling you. If you have questions, ask me the questions. I'll be happy to answer. www.teaserking.com. Good luck, everybody. Let's hit them hard today. Keep your eye on Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray plays, and it should be announced by 2:30 Eastern time, what's that? About 11:30 Pacific. Once you hear if it's a yes, play him hard with the Rams or the Steelers. If it's a no, then just play the Rams and the Steelers. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much.